As an expression of personality is a new topic which I have brought for you today. So, if literature be at bottom of an expression of life and it be a virtue of the life which it expresses that it makes its special appeal, then the ultimate secrets of its interest must be sought of its essentially personal character. So now it comes now on the expression of personality, like what essentially the personal character matters a lot. So literature, according to Matthew Arnold is the 19th century critic and a writer, much discussed the definition. The very famous definition of literature is given by Matthew Arnold, which is a criticism of life. But this can means only that it is the interpretation of life as life shapes itself. That means the life itself shapes life itself shapes it around the literature in the mind of an interpreter. It is with the critic or interpreter. Therefore 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 that we have first to do. The French epigram of the hits the mark. Art is itself seen through the temperament. For the mirror which the writer holds up to the world about him is of necessary the mirror of his own personality. So the mirror of his own personality is required to because literature reflect through his mind and his teaching. So that's why it comes first, that the mirror of his own personality reflects what he is going to write upon. The practical bearing of his fundamental truth must be carefully noted. So the great book is born of the brain of the heart and its author. So he has put himself into pages. They partake of his life and for instinct with his individuality. It is the man in the book, therefore, that to begin with we have to find our way. We have to get to know him as an individual. First, we have to know the writer, that what kind of personality he has, or what kind of personality he is, and how he sees the world, and how that seeing of his world will reflect through his personality. So that to establish personality, intercourse with our books is a simple, direct human way. Should shut our principle and constant purpose. We want first all of to become not a scholar but good readers, and we can become good readers only when we make our reading a matter of close and sympathetic companionship, personal experience. It is been rightly said is the basic of all real literature, and to enter into such a personal experience and to share it. It is similar the basic of all real literary culture. A good book owes its greatness in the first instance to the greatness of the personality which gave it life. So the writer is the personality which gave a book life. For what we call genius, only another name of freshness and originality of nature, with its resulting freshness and originality of outlet upon the world, of insight and of thought. So the mark of a really great book is that it has something fresh and original to say. So first of all, the writer has to be very original, has to be originally written something. So to end that, it says that it's a fresh and independent way. It is the utterance of it says that in a fresh and independent way. So one has himself been close to those aspects of life of what he speaks. Who has looked at them with his own eyes, who by the keenness of his vision has seen more deeply into things, and by strength of his genius he has apprehended the meaning of more powerfully than the common race of man. So the writer is not a common person. His genius speaks through his writing. His originality, his freshness become the results of his great insight of the world, or his great insight, or his great thought. So now that a great book, as Milton finally said. Milton is the writer of Paradise Lost, and he has written a great piece of genius. So a good book, as Milton finally says in words which, however, can hardly be too often repeated. It is precisely lifeblood of a master spirit, embalmed and treasured up on purpose of a life beyond life. So to throw upon our whole nature to the quickened influence of such a master spirit to let his life blood flow free into our veins is the preliminary step in literary culture, the final secret of all profitable reading. So according to the Hudson, the writer is the only writer give his heart, his mind, his blood, his soul to the written material, and then that soul, that purpose, that heartful insight, that fresh thought, that freshness, and that originality transferred to the reader through that literary piece of art. So it is important that it is our dealing with books we should distinguish between what Carlyle calls a genius voice and the mere echoes, between the man who speaks of themselves and those who speaks only on the report of others. I have wrote Charlotte Bronte of Lewis Ranthrope, a new book, not a reprint, not a reflection of any other book, but a new book. So they emphasize over the originality and the freshness of a book. They do not believe in the a good writer does never believe in the repetence of any sort of book. So Charlotte Bronte clearly recognizes the distinguish upon which are now instinct. So we are we are not in the least obliged to despise the echoes and the reprints, or to say hard and contemptuous things of them, as it's something done, for provided they be good of their kind, they have their place and usefulness. So they said that an original piece of art will never be in the competition of any other book which is repeated or which has written already in different form. A literary piece of art which is not repeated, which is not not a reflection of any other book, or which is not a reprint, is actually a new book. So according to them, it is necessary to keep well in mind the essentially difference between the literature which draws its life directly from personality and experience, and that which draws its life mainly at second hand from contact with the personality and experience of life. The literature which in Turgenev's phrase smells of literature is always classes below that which carries with its native savor of life itself, and it is not with the bookish books of the world, no matter how great their technical excellence, but with those which are fullest of original vitality, that we are chiefly concerned. So Hudson becomes very concerned about the originality of the books, and they said that he has quoted different writers' phrases, different writers' words that emphasize over the originality and freshness of the work. So he believes that the writer who writes with originality, with original thought, with original scheme, or which give life to that literature would we are chiefly concerned here about that literature. So for today's it is enough for today that we have done about the literature as an expression of personality. It is all about the writer's personality, that how he reflect over the society, but from personal point of view, as we had understood that it is one of the major characteristic of literature, that it should be on of personal point of view, and that sort of literature reflect the personality of the writer or of the critic, that how he interpret life, or interpretation of life is given by them, is quite necessary, or is quite required, or it should be original and fresh. That is the precise message of this literature as an expression of personality. Okay, take care. We will cover what in the principle of sincerity, the man in the book, in the next